Muted. No, we're not muted. We went live. We so horrible. It's been a while, huh? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends upon the time you're watching this. This is the three wise men, maybe two wise men.
The third always gets lost someplace.
Damascus.
We even gave them a map this time, people. I
Yeah.
mean, the desert's constantly changing. The cities. Oh.
Welcome to season 3, episode 1. So I hope you missed us. If not, well, that's okay too. We're cool with
Well,
that.
you probably missed him. I must have gotten the background.
Yeah, he's something. But we got Penny with us. She's the third one.
Yes.
But so we've been gone for a little bit. Me more so than you haven't been here, but I'm your connection for that.
Jason, so what have you been doing?
But we've done the Extreme Tour, so that's why I took some time off to get that booked and taken care of. That was the video you saw there playing. That was the Extreme Tour, mixed between Galesburg, Burlington, and I don't remember the other city. It wasn't ours. But in my Justin did that for us. More videos. And there's Jared, the third wise man in his collar.
Let's see.
We hear you, we see you.
He's still on the road to Damascus.
But I said the Extreme Tour was a.
What's up, mi amigos?
Why would you call me? You call me a me?
I can't hear y'all at all.
You can't hear me.
Well, you are in a truck.
Wow, there's no sound.
Did you mute him? No, he's not muted.
Am I not being heard?
I know I'm not muted.
We're professional people, I swear.
Let's see. I mean, now my mic's working.
I may have to back out because I can't hear y'all at all.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Yep, we're hearing. Yeah, we could hear. We could. Yeah, he gone.
And he back.
And he back.
Oh, I got y'all now.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Holy smokes, Batman! I can hear you now.
This is like a Verizon commercial.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Okay, we got you there, buddy Rowe.
We got you. But,
Oh, those good old boys are at it again, I see.
That's right. Never meaning no harm. Telling people about Jesus.
Oh man.
You kind of look like you're having some fun there on the front.
I don't want to know. Anyways, but like I said, we did the Extreme Tour there. This is my 6th one I've done. 2 cities. So 4th year in a row, but doubled it last year and doubled it this year. So 6 actual Extreme Tours. So a lot of work goes on it behind the scenes on our end and the Extreme Tours end. But they bring out some amazing artists and stuff to come out and play for free to the community with support from the communities that they come to. So,
how many people do you say showed up?
how many people showed up? Galesburg, before or after the rain? Before the rain, we had probably, I'd say, 40, 50 people that were hanging for a while. Then we got a little blipper of a thunderstorm and like 15, 20 people left. Like, we got a thunderstorm. Like, I don't care, whatever. I can't leave.
Those God tested if you really want to stay.
Yeah. So but it ended while we had probably at the end, probably about 20 people, 25 people stayed. Which is the first year we had like 4.
Hey, that's a big improvement thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you always told me it's not about the size; it's about who you reach.
Yeah. And if you look at that, if you saw that video, the very last picture on there, I believe was what's me and 3 young kids, 21, 15, 16, and then 17, I think.
And 160.
Oh. But those one was a young entrepreneur, Jeremiah. He's one right in the middle. But they stayed to the end of kind of watch over us because there were some folks that were
Questionable?
Yeah, they were doing some stuff that was there. I mean, they had been drinking. They had open alcohol out at the park there. We're on dice kind of stuff. They said be safe as we left because they were parked right behind us, kind of thing. Those guys, and make it be safe. So we kept an eye on it. I go, I got your be safe. I know what you were saying. Be careful. you know, and as soon as we left, they headed out. But it was good to see some kids that understood that decisions they make today impact what happens in their future, because they're trying to do good things, the entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. So the right people stayed in that aspect. And then in Burlington, we had 15, 20 people kind of came out. Well, probably a little more than that, probably closer to 30. And then at the end, we had probably about 10 or 15 that actually stayed. But the right people stayed, obviously. But it was downtown. It was the first time we've done it really out here. People didn't know what it was. They didn't understand what it was. But we were in downtown. So, I mean, if you know Burlington at all, and there's a restaurant across the street called the Drake. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, Drake. And like, what is that sound coming from over there? And people came over and checked it out. But it's 4 hours, so you can't expect people to hang out for 4 hours.
You can't do.
I did, but people come out to see what it is, and then we change genres of music, and they might not like that genre, so they leave, and that's okay. But
hey, Marcus,
they do that Tampico challenge, and in Burlington, we actually had somebody actually complete it. Tampico challenge. Well, she didn't finish it in 5 minutes. She finished it like in 7. So she still got $75 instead of the $75 instead of the $100.
Yeah, see if that link will work, Adam.
Did you send it to him?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I sent it.
Good job.
Yeah, I sent it to me.
Differently.
Yeah, I sent it to.
Uh-oh.
And just like that, he was frozen in time. First, he gets lost in Damascus. Then
He's back again.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. I'm still in Facebook now, and Facebook tells me failed to post link. Here's what Facebook said: you're temporarily restricted from sharing links until Saturday at 11:40.
Hold on a sec.
How dare they put you in jail? Do they not know how you...
Hold on. I'll get that to you, Adam. One sec.
Okay, so you're live on the Three Wise Men, not the radio station page.
Yeah, what is the Three Wise Men one?
Okay.
I was trying to do that to help boost that a little bit for now.
So,
Try it out.
Heck yeah. Okay. Cool with me.
But still got Coon Hunters.
So,
Keep you in the loop.
so with the concerts and everything, that's your ultimate goal here. I know.
My ultimate goal is to bring people to Jesus. Well, that really is it.
That's right.
Jesus.
What's your end goal was like to do that? Do you expect the concerts to like be open with people? That'd be the possible like highest goal you want. But what it is? Because you've always told me that God said you're only here for a little bit of time, and then he's going to bring you someplace else.
Yeah.
And of course, it's God's will. Whatever He wants, we hope you stay as long as He wants you to. But it's like, do you want these things to? You obviously want these things to continue long after you're out of here. Right?
Yeah. Essentially, the goal is in the long run is to have, like I kind of was telling you off camera before, off live, where I do it for 3 or 4 years or whatever. Then I get somebody that can say harvest. I won't guess harvest, but I planted the seed, I've watered it, got it going, and now they take over and take care of the rest of it. Where I could, like in Burlington, do that here, where I get it going, and I have a team that takes over, so I can just do the basics or none of it. So it continues going and just plant the tree, and then I may never see the fruit from said tree, but I don't have to.
But we also talked about that too.
Yeah.
Like doing things without necessarily seeing the end results.
Yeah. And the other goal is get hundreds of people, thousands of people, fill that downtown here in Burlington with, we had to start blocking off streets because we're taking over. Fill the park in Galesburg, so we have that packed, so people are, and get baptism going, get that going, get people fed. both spiritually and food wise. Get all that stuff taken care of. But the main thing is that it stays free to the community.
Yep.
So I don't want them to have to pay for
something that's for God.
Yeah. Because you're like, I can't afford to go. Well, we don't care if you can afford to go because it's not going to cost you.
Even the food truck.
There you go.
So that's the goal of that in that long run. But just make it bigger, more people, get more churches involved in some way, some form. Like in Burlington, I had 2 churches, technically 3, that took care of stuff. And then in Galesburg, we have 3 churches took care of stuff. Either provided food in some way, provided housing, or provided food and prayer, I guess. We had a thing on that one night.
Yeah, did that link work, Adam? Because it's not posting from my page. I sent it to your messenger too.
I sent the messenger as well.
Okay, good.
I think it was the right. It should be.
Yep, there he is, right there.
He found it. Adam.
There's my homeboy right there.
That's how we all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady
We're the redneck version of the Brady Bunch.
Well, now that Adam's there, now there's 3 wise men. I can leave.
I said that because he keeps looking up that way, like he's looking at Sharon.
What's up?
Like, hi.
How you doing, Adam?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
It's been a minute or 7.
Yeah.
So explain to Adam what you was doing working with the Extreme Tour.
Oh, there's a lot there.
I was in here listening.
Okay, that's cool.
Cool. Thank you. I have to repeat all that. But
Yeah, I was in here.
oh, man,
he really wants to do this podcast. No one's forcing him, guys.
The first link I tried to take and copy it and go into the app because I have the StreamYard app, and then it kept trying to bring me into an old episode, and then so I was like, "We'll post it here, and I can grab it from here." Well, then it didn't show up, and then I don't know. I finally got to work out.
there you go.
Yeah.
But what's y'all?
But in short, with the basics, so I want people to do the Extreme Tour in other cities wherever they're at. Jared, where you're at, Adam, where you're at, I think that's where you're at, but I already got that. So, but anyone that's watching or listening, it's not a lot to do, considering. It sounds overwhelming because basically what we do as a coordinator in the city is you work on getting a place for them to stay. It's usually a church. One of the cities they had was a physical therapist type place. When the artist said out in Indiana that they couldn't find a place to stay, last minute, God opened the door to a physical therapist type place. He goes, "You got a place to stay."
And if you have a bad back, we can help you with that too.
Yeah. But basically a place to stay. It's usually a church, but it could be anywhere. They have people stay at people's houses. They have finished basements. It doesn't have to be a church, but it's a better option. And then, so you do that. Then you provide meals, 3 meals for them, for the artists, however many artists there are, and then a place to play. Those are the 3 main things you take care of. And they come with the sound, the lights, the stage, the artists. They do ask for some expenses to help them cover expenses as they go from city to city. What you give them this year goes to next year's budget, essentially. So they try to build the money that but that money goes in to do that. But basically, if you don't have the money, but if you give them a place to stay, food to eat, and a place to play, they will go and do it for nothing. That's not the ideal, but so just organizing that stuff. So, and then they just pour their hearts out to the community.
So how many artists was it?
This year we had 5. We had 11 people in Galesburg, 12 people in Burlington. About 6 artists total.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, hip hop, contemporary, hard rock. Then at the end, but what makes it the best thing is at the end of the whole thing. They do what they call the unplugged, and they just sit on the edge of the stage with a guitar, play acoustic guitar, one or two people, and then they go and they do some worship music, just acoustic singing, do all that kind of stuff, and everyone kind of comes together, and then it's powerful to sit. And they're just in Galesburg. It was really in the dark because we just had a couple lights. And in Burlington, there's a little bit more light because we had some street lights out there. They're still shining in, but you just sit there and and have a moment. It's usually about 3 songs, 10 or 15 minutes. They hang out for a little bit, and they tear down and go. Well, not go home. Go back to it.
Is this like a one night event or?
That part is, for example, I did 2 cities, and they came in on I'll do Galesburg. They came in Saturday night, 6:00 Saturday night. They get there. We did a pizza and prayer in downtown, and so that feeds them. We meet with the community and stuff. Then they do search and rescue that night. When they do search and rescue, they go out to the community and they find people there, at bars, at clubs, in the street, homeless folk, wherever, and or is it unhoused, and they'll go and meet people and invite them to the show and all that. And then the actual event itself is on Sunday night, and so it's technically a one night in that aspect. When they came to Burlington, they were here for 3 nights. They came in Monday night, which is a free day. Tuesday was the search and rescue, and then Wednesday was the actual event. So the actual concert is one day, but they could be there in your city between 2 and 3 days. So
that's cool. Is this something that is this your first time ever doing this, or is this something you've been doing for a while?
4th years. Burlington was my 6th one. I did 3 years in two full years in Galesburg, and then last year I did Galesburg and Burlington, but Burlington got rained out, so that was 3rd and 4th. And then this year did Galesburg and Burlington, and they were both successful without rain. So it's 5th and 6th. It's in 6 total, 4 years, and I'm already working on next year's, so it'll be 7 and 8 next year.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So they got me in, and I'm going to keep doing it until someone says no. And if somebody has got, he hasn't told me no yet. So.
Yeah. So your next one will be this time next year?
Yeah. It's going to be, they start in June. They go through like October. They go cross country.
Yeah.
So they start out East Coast, and they kind of dip around wherever the cities are logistically, and then they end up on the West Coast.
Next year when you host the one you host or whatever, give me a couple week notice or something like that, and I would like to help in a way if I can.
Okay. Like come out or help out on other ways?
Do what?
Like help out, like fly out here?
No, like money, financially or whatever.
Okay.
You said there's like expenses or whatever, so
yeah. I appreciate, because so as I said, they reach out to me usually in February and March, when they reach out to me about setting dates up, and then I work on that. Like in Galesburg, I put in for the request for the park, and I get same day response, approved.
Yeah.
So
just let me know next. Like I said, and I wouldn't fly out there if I was ever going to come there. I just drive there. You ain't that far away.
It all depends what you consider far. I mean, I don't like driving across town.
No. I don't do the whole flying thing. Anywhere I need to go, I can drive.
Yeah, you're not.
So how far are y'all from each other?
He's about 6 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't bad.
And if you want to set up a spot down in your area, Adam, you're welcome to try to work on getting that set up too, and I can help guide you through that. And
hey,
God, what did you do?
You got a phone call. Let's get them out. So, anyways,
you're pushing.
All right,
man.
All right, so I'm fixing to post a link. I just sent it to myself, so I'm gonna post the link. Extreme Tour, theextremetour.com.
The Extreme Tour is correct. That is a website.
All right, so I wish I wasn't in Facebook jail, man. This freaking sucks.
What did you do exactly? If I may ask?
Okay. So look, get this. So somebody, I can't remember who it was, somebody on my friends list had made a post saying they need prayers. And when I go and because I like to pray for people when I see posts, I like to stop what I'm doing. Well, they made a post saying they need prayers. Well, in the comment section, you can it gives you an option to post pictures or you can do GIFs or stickers. So I do the GIFs, the GIF, whatever you call it, crap. And I always do that. And I'll type in Bible verses and it pulls up all the GIFs that have the Bible verses. And I post the animated Bible verse, the one that says, "Cast your cares upon the Lord." And I post that one a lot when I see it. Well, it was on there this time, so I posted it. Not even a minute later, Facebook says, "Oh, you don't have permission to do that," or something. And they put me in Facebook jail for 6 days for posting that Bible verse and saying I was going to pray for you.
That
So
doesn't
now
make sense.
it doesn't make any sense. And now it tells me that I can't post links to any of my pages that I log into. I can't even share a memory on my memory list, which is stupid.
I get that that's part of Facebook, but the reason that the GIFs are there is because Facebook put them there.
Exactly.
So that they allow you to look at them, but you can't use them. That don't make
Yeah,
sense.
isn't it? Yeah, that's like what a bunch of douches.
Hey, no, that's not the right word to use. We're not wrong, but it's not the right word to use.
Yeah, right.
What about a bunch of screwballs? That's what I say.
That works too.
All right, let's see. Here's link for.
I have a scrolling the Extreme Tour one.
All right,
Well, just falling asleep. That's weird.
all right, face.
Used to walking around all day. That sitting down physically hurts me.
Only if you can stand up a little bit, I can adjust the camera.
Hey Tony. All right, yeah, there's that link. Yeah, so you got it scrolling to the extremetour.com. Yeah, and it tells me like when I've made that post, it posts to all three. It says failed to post to Facebook. Here's what Facebook said. You're temporarily restricted from sharing links until Saturday at 11:45 a.m.
Facebook, you're better than this.
Oh, the artist says you and $39.
Yeah, right. That's what it shows. Yep.
We temporarily.
You got the other one in trouble too. Well.
Anyways, and it might come back. But any other questions about the Extreme Tour?
Honestly.
So okay, what was the name of the artist?
They're all different artists. Jerry Fee is one of them. He's one of the coordinators. Not now because he's gone out to England, UK, Ireland.
That was really cool.
He does it in England. They do a tour. Yeah, they do a tour in England. They usually do Canada, but this year they didn't do Canada because I guess it was natural disaster. I don't know if it was a fire or a flood.
No offense to Canada, but I don't have any interest. You're right next to us.
But the people there that would allow them to stay at their houses were damaged, so they're not going to Canada.
I hope.
But they go to England, they go to UK, they go to Ireland. They do a small tour out there. But the artist is a Jerry Fee or Heliograph, Idioms, IDP, Idioms the Prophecy.
When you said idioms, I thought instantly like that's way up like poetic, right?
That's what it is.
No, it is.
No,
Okay.
Idioms with a Z. But he's one of the artists there. He's on our ministry advisory board too.
Oh, that's cool.
Hyder, if you watch that video, there was a guy Hyder. He had the red shirt on. That's Hyder. Mama Hope, she's there. I'm trying to think who else was there. I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss people's names. Stevie was there. Sam Kinslow. But I said it changes as cities go through. Alex McDonald was there. He was in Galesburg, but not Burlington. So there's always changing artists. So it's not the
that's
same
awesome.
So there's people come through for 2 or 3 weeks. There's people that were out on the East Coast that I didn't see because they didn't make it this far. I mean, they all go on their own. So if Mitch wanted to go out on tour with these folks and play the ukulele,
I would be the triangle.
I'll say kazoo or triangle. He can go out and do that. You know, he goes all his funds, all his stuff is all third plans. So they can only go out for so much.
All my $2, my whole
Well,
$2.
you can make it.
Hey, Miss Tamara.
I could go to my alley.
In the summer. In the winter, maybe not. Like, oh man, I can't get out
Make fun of my truck. She tries.
there. But it's you can find all the information on there at extremetour.com. But this is the only things zooming across the bottom there. I should have done better. Anyways.
Do you want it in big shiny bold
Hold on.
letters?
No, I just let me edit this because that's driving me nuts. It's just so.
Hi, Miss Tamara. Miss Tamara's watching from my page.
There you go. That's better.
I was wondering how you're saying hi to everyone. We don't see nothing.
Because he sees them pop on his page.
Well, the only reason I know that she was watching, it said that Miss Tamara Durham liked your live. That's the only reason I knew it.
Yeah,
Facebook never shows me who watches.
Yeah, we got YouTube folks. Thank you, YouTube. It's not me.
Honestly,
Hey, YouTube.
Anyone who watches,
Hi, YouTube.
Not YouTube.
we only do this just to so that we plant good seeds in the ones that need to.
Oh, we lost someone. Probably YouTube.
I was beginning to talk. I'm sorry, guys.
Nope, YouTube still. 200 left. Anyways.
Yeah, hopefully Adam will be able to jump back in.
I got a phone call. That usually happens.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to jump to the other good news. Can I share the other good news?
Oh, yes.
Do you have other questions about the Extreme Tour?
So everybody share the live and click that link, the extremetour.com, when it's over. If you want to have them come to your area, the artist and
For next year. And if you have questions, you message me on any of the page. Well, not any of the pages, but
And if you want to set it up in your area, just text him and he can text you. Like write it down there, and you guys can talk it out. And
I'll get you in contact with Jerry, who's it depends on if you're East Coast with him. If you're
Can you imagine that being on like the very East Coast, like California?
West Side.
West Coast. West Coast.
Okay, so directions were never my strong suit.
That's why he's all about yes.
How wise are you?
Because I'm a wise man, doesn't mean that I know everything.
The East Coast is. Anyways, any other questions?
You know my weakness now.
Anyways, but yeah, I get to West Coast is usually Damon or Idioms. He's usually West Coast. But I get you in contact with them about setting stuff up and that. But if you have questions, I can always answer. So I've done 6, so I'm sort of an expert. This year was easier as I had some team with me, which is I would advise get a team with you. A whole lot easier.
You're going to want to master.
So, according to the Extreme Tours website, the next shows, let's see, Rapid City, South Dakota,
Okay.
August the 12th to the 14th. Bellevue, New England, Sioux Falls, South Dakota is this weekend, so they got a bunch of different shows left. The final show is Portocello, Idaho, August 24th and 25th.
Yeah, there's that's like the last show.
Yeah, it's the last show of the year.
Which one did you say? August what?
August 24th and 25th.
They go through October. Probably scroll down further.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay, you're West Coast. Okay.
I know directions. He doesn't know how to scroll.
So, they go through October. They have like California.
Oh, yeah, Muskogee, Oklahoma, October 29th and 31st.
And they have Oregon, California.
So have they already been to Alabama?
I don't know. Do you see?
Let's see.
Alabama might not even be in there. We need.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I don't see
I don't think they ever go to Alabama.
Tupelo, Gadsden, Alabama.
What do
They went there June the 10th and 12th.
So that's when they started. They started down in Georgia, I think, this year.
Yeah,
So,
Columbus, Georgia.
It's funny that you say that, but everyone knows the Georgia.
Wow.
Oh, they are not the devil. They went to find the devil. They went to Georgia.
And they were playing music. I mean, it's really ironic.
Probably a fiddle in there somewhere. But you bring them to your town. There's your. And they'll come
Wow,
here.
that sounds. Yeah, that sounds cool.
So, but yeah, if anyone has questions about it, feel free to reach out to me or reach out to Jared and he'll get a hold of me.
And that's how things like this. That's how we allow it to take root and grow. I mean, one moment it's the extreme tour, like only known in here and there in small towns, and before you know it, it's in like larger cities.
And that's one of the biggest struggles you get is people not knowing what it is. Like I'm trying to get donations. I've never heard of this. I'm like, well, no, you haven't because they've never done it in Burlington. But also, it's just they're not out there, broadcasting everywhere with it. And then,
well, let me ask you this: Do you have the promo video loaded in here to show everybody
I closed it out. I had to share the screen. I shared it.
Okay.
But yeah, it was at the beginning of the video. When this is over, rewatch it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you had. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Adam.
But I had a phone call. I'm sorry.
You had it. He's like,
I know how that feels.
But one thing before I end this part here, I would do to give a shout out to the churches in Galesburg that helped out with the food and all that stuff. Randy Juanita Davis, Daryl Garrett, Charisse, and Bill Strawn. They all helped out with it in the church aspect. All the folks there, we got donations from some places out there. Burlington did good with it. We had West Baptist, Pastor G and family there. The Landing, they helped out. And then Fairway, Burlington, and Hy-Vee. And I will say it, hopefully get it right. Angular. That's one. Hy-Vee also helped out with some donations as well. So, I mean, for the town that didn't know anything about it and what it was, they showed up. So,
that's one thing about Burlington Nights. We show up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I
he didn't show up, but that's okay. We won't hold that again.
I'm gonna walk away now. I'm gonna get lost outside. Okay.
He's gonna go east. He's parked to the west. I don't know where you're from. You keep going east, hit the river.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyways.
Hi, Miss Teresa. Teresa Little in the building.
Hi, Teresa.
But,
Hey, what up?
Okay. Anything else we got on Extreme Tour?
Honestly, because this is what I wanted to point out. Is like, this is what we meant whenever we say, like, if you want to donate anything, these are the type of things that it goes to. It never, ever goes to anyone's pockets. Ever. It just goes to a fund that goes towards and helps Jason set these things up, do what he has to. And honestly, the more funds he has, the more he can do, the more people he can reach, and the bigger these events can get. So, again, if you guys are in a place to do it, go ahead and donate if you feel like it. We don't put any pressure on it. That's not what this show is about. But we just want to assure you again, it does not go to anyone's pockets.
Yep, and that's scrolling down there at the bottom to donate. And if anything comes in that, or the Extreme Tour example Adam was talking about, you can put that in there. It'll stay there, and you put a note on there saying Extreme Tour. You can put that in now, and when I find it later at that time frame, I use it for that. So any donations come in, all goes towards that, whether it's food or not housing always free, but food or even a venue.
Helps the radio station grow.
Like I've helped, Jared with several different things or whatever, and it's I never question or what, because in my opinion, I want to donate, or if people donate, or people shouldn't have to explain what they're doing with it because they've already explained what they're doing with it. Number one, number two, they should feel like they're what they're doing is the right thing anyway. So I because there's a lot of times like what Mitch, what you were just saying, in the day and age we live in, it's sad that you have to go and explain in detail what you just said.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. It's crazy that
I'll go the extra mile to show people what they need to see to make them feel comfortable. Because, I mean, if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with the it's the same way with the like living out the word of God. It's like I'll go the extra mile just to show people that this works. And so I'm not going to let the few bad people ruin it for everybody else. I won't. And really it is. It's a few greedy people that ruin it and make everybody have to be skeptical, have to be safe.
Mhm.
we did a thing. Jared knows very well about this situation, but we had raised some money for an individual, and that was in a pretty bad spot in their life, and we got scrutinized for it, and I mean down to the nickel, down to
Yeah.
the
Yep.
last nickel we showed on 3 different occasions within a 6-month period, and there were still people trying to discredit us for what we done and what we did with the money when we showed in black and white the transactions, and then that we had the person that we didn't want to involve that person and bring them up to put them in the light on it. You know what I mean? Because this person isn't like didn't want all that extra stuff. But she said, "Yes, I'll have no problem." She even came on and said that what we said, and it was just
And
it's
and
crazy.
maybe they were trying to start trouble.
Yeah.
You got people that get a kick out of that. I don't know that for a fact. Maybe these people have been burnt before. I don't know, but it sounds to me like maybe this person was just these people were just trying to start trouble.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's people that have nothing better to do, and most times people have nothing better to do. They've not donated a dime ever in their life to anything, and they just want to just be a negative Nancy. And but no, I think it's a great thing what you guys are doing and stuff. Like I said, Jared's, we have the awards that we run and stuff, and people don't understand what it takes to do certain things, like this little awards that we do. That takes time, that takes money out of mine and Jared's pocket. We never had a sponsor. We've never had anybody pay.
Right.
It adds up quickly, and so I can only imagine like what you guys just did or whatever. Whenever you guys had done that, I'm sure that's a lot of work. I'm sure at times it's a lot of fun. I'm sure a lot of times it's a headache. I can only imagine the stress that comes with that. So that's amazing though what you guys have done though.
Thank you.
And what's really amazing is that he did most of this while he was still working.
No, I know. Yeah,
I literally worked until Friday night at 7 p.m. And then they came into town in Galesburg. So I had to go to Galesburg, which is an hour away, and to meet up with them at technically 6 o'clock at the church to get them in. So I had less than 24-hour turnaround. Get home. What did you do yesterday? I was at work. I don't usually do this. Usually I take a day or two before I was done. but I said, but with the financial part of it, at the beginning of the year, we financed all this. We figure out what we're going to do for the year, what we're doing. We put a budget in, and we figure out what we're doing, and we put it in there, and we work it that way. Anything that comes in from donations helps alleviate that a little bit to cover, so maybe I could do more. If I got suddenly, if anyone's listening wants to do it, go ahead. $1,000 put in there. That would allow me to do more. Another thing this year. It's like, hey, I don't have it now, but if I get $1,000, I could go do another couple shows.
Right.
And do that way. But I don't plan on going. I'm going to hope everyone puts it in. If I don't, they don't give it to me. That I can't do it. He's provided us the funds for it. We do it. If other stuff comes in, and it extends it further.
And maybe,
but it's out of our own funds too.
And it sounds to me like he's doing like he does in my life. It's like he gives you a little goal. He tells you, he wants to see if he teach you to keep money in the right place as a tool. Because we all can fall in that little habit of letting money take the wrong place in our lives. And it sounds to me like he's helping make you into what is that word? A good steward. A good steward.
Uh-huh.
And that's how he does it. He's like, oh, you did exactly what I said. Well, here's a little bit more. You did exactly what I said, so here you do. And you always, and as you grow with it, and as he helps you to become a good steward, you'll always put that money where he wants it to be. Yeah. And our money, influence, whatever it is he gives you. And it's money, influence, the ability to reach out, the radio station that you want to get started, all those things. It's like, that's all for his keeping. Yeah. And as long as you keep doing this, you're showing him you still intend to let this be for his keeping.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I don't even know how honestly, like how difficult it would be at times, because especially with the economy the way it is, like if you, like you said in the beginning of the year, you put back a set amount of money, let's just say $1,200. You put $1,200 back and you think that's going to cover it. Well, then 7 months down the road to the event, a lot of stuff can happen in 7 months in the economy, and you might be well off the mark.
Well,
So I could imagine the need of donations or a sponsor or something. So yeah, I'm sure that's a headache in its own.
well, yeah, and what's the way we do that is like I know the amount that I'm going to like. We have Galesburg and Burlington that know, and I give an X amount of dollars I'm going to give as a donation to that event. I know he'll provide, and he always has provided churches to do it, provided with meals. There's one in Galesburg. Every year they provide food. We might pick up a few things here and there, but out of our own separate funds, we'll do a couple $100 to cover anything we may miss, or if there's a difference in cost. But we know that I'm going to do X amount of dollars for Galesburg, X amount of dollars to Burlington to the Extreme Tour.
Let me ask you this: do the artists do this for free?
Mm-hmm. Out of their own funding.
Wow.
Well, if they have merch, they can sell merch and make money that way.
Well, right. I just didn't know, because that's another thing I was thinking. I was like, well, if you've got like say 5 artists and you have an artist come in late, but they're a big artist and they want like say 15 to show, it's like, oh, well, we're over budget, and you can't book that part. So I was just wondering.
Oh, this is all people that you have to get picked to get into this tour.
That's wow.
Yeah, if you look up the Extreme Tour that's on there, it also talks about the objective. So say if you're an artist, you go to the objective in Nashville, and you fill out an application, they read through it, and then you go through some classes and they talk to you, because people are like, oh, it's easy to just go on tour. Well, it's communal living. So like when they were in Galesburg, they were in a gymnasium at the church, and you have tents, and that's it. You may not have a shower available to you.
How do you know if you're picking the right food? What if they don't like the food you provide?
They tell you.
They tell us what people like. We had quite a few this year that didn't eat pork, whether it was religious or just they thought it was nasty. One of the things it's not good, or they have allergies. So we kind of try to accommodate with that. Yeah. But if you don't have the food that they do, most of the time they like. We had one year, lady came through. I mean, she was allergic to. I'm allergic to everything, food wise. So her followers, her supporters, donate to her so she can buy food on the way. She plans that already. So I know you're not going to have food every time. Every city's going to have that, because I have such a sensitivity. So I plan on getting my own food when I have to at the stores I go to, or cities I go to find the stores that have the food I need, and so that aspect.
But they ask somebody gonna find something like, man, I ain't eating that. I don't like that.
Then they better go buy their own food.
Yeah,
that's really what. Right. But and the person I keep going with the two cities I have is we always feed them, because 2 years ago we went to Nashville for the objective, and they're like, oh, where are you guys from? Like, Galesburg. Like, oh, you guys fed us. We love you guys, because there's cities that don't give them enough food. I mean, they hit we got to feed 10 people. Here's enough for 4. Like, this isn't Jesus with the fish and the bread. It's not how this works.
It would be crazy if there's some guy like, here, let me see this, and he like feeds the entire crowd.
But so there's cities that don't always feed them. There's cities that don't give them, those kind of things. And they just they like that we do that. I like to keep that tradition going, that we take care of them in that.
How long have they been doing the Extreme Tour?
20-something years, I think. Maybe 30, 20-something.
Wow.
Ted Brune, who's the founder, is just a year or two younger than me. And I think he started when he was like in his 20s. So, 20-something years. His testimony.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet they have all kind of cool artists.
Yeah, when you go to the objective, I mean, the artists they work with that are mentors and stuff. Brian Welch, or Head.
Yes.
Right from Korn.
Yes.
Guys from Wu-Tang Clan.
Wow.
Petra.
Oh, cool. Petra.
Pillar.
Pillar's legendary.
For example, on this one, Galesburg and Burlington, we had a drummer. We had a bunch of the videos from the ones from Burlington back. where he was on tour with Lauryn Hill. He was her drummer.
Wow.
Wow.
World
That's cool.
world tour kind of drummer is in Galesburg and Burlington.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But you don't know that. I mean, T. Rizzy, you don't talk to him. Oh yeah, he's a big. I talk to him like I know his name is Terry.
Wow.
He doesn't but he did all. They do it all on their own. So,
Huh.
but I think I'm gonna go back. I'm going to throw in my big other announcement that I have. So I have another announcement. I don't know, Adam, if I but can I do that?
Yes, go ahead.
I want to put the little picture up in the right corner or whatever corner that is.
Okay.
Now,
You can't really see it.
now everybody get a magnifying glass
Yeah.
out. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm going to do this on the bottom.
Let me get my monocle.
Aye, matey.
Yeah.
Cover me timbers. Seventh Day Slumber.
Coming to Burlington, Iowa, August 28th.
August 28th, Catfish Bend Casino.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that all came within what's today, Wednesday.
Yeah.
I sent the email out Sunday. Talked to him on Monday, confirmed it yesterday.
So you're responsible for this?
For the connecting, yes.
Oh, yes.
We were, so I can.
And look.
And
I know Jared's
So-
a big fan of them.
Oh, look, let me tell you, I'm on their street team. Adam, you've got to see these guys live. These guys are phenomenal, and they will talk to you after the show. They don't charge for meet and
Five
greets.
Camaro with the bumper sticker on it from them too, on the street.
I wish.
If Jared could, he'd have the same mohawk as his lead singer.
Oh man, he's got a big mohawk.
I've heard some of their stuff. I don't know a lot about them. I don't know a lot by them. I've heard some of their stuff. But that is awesome that you're responsible for that. That is that's cool.
yeah, it's how those connections work. Sometimes I'm like, I never thought. I mean, I've been trying to get Seventh Day Slumber for 5 years at different places, and never had the venue, never had the finances, never had the connections.
It's a guy.
It's weird how that works. Yes, it's the right time, the right place.
Look,
Let me ask you this.
Yes,
since
sir.
Since you're talking about this, and then with your radio station and stuff, it being August now.
Good, yeah.
How long ago did you start the radio station? And with that question, are you trending a lot? Like, are you seeing a good influx of numbers this year compared to last year? Is everything, I know everything could always be better, sure, in life, but I'm just,
So, honestly, I started the station in, I don't remember the exact start date, but it was springtime of 2016.
Okay.
We did our first show July 9th of 16. I know that much. We're in our 8th year on that. Our main thing was we have a station shows. Like the guy I started with, Matt, actually went to broadcasting school. He wanted to do radio shows and that aspect. I just wanted to do concerts and outreach stuff. We had a difference of opinion on how the station should be run, so we parted ways. Still friends, just parted ways on that.
Yeah.
So now I don't do the radio shows as much. Now I do this. Funny how God has a sense of humor with that one.
Like, did you say you were going to stop?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we did our shows. We did that. The radio station has been trending up. I talked to our guy on our ministry advisory board when he was in Galesburg and Burlington. Actually, Burlington. We talked to him, and I go, I don't want to do the station in the aspect of I don't really do anything with it. I have it set. I program it for 4 months out, and it does its thing. He goes, but he asked me, what's your ROI on it and return on investment? I'm like, well, I mean, it's a hook. I tell people, they go, what do you do? I go, online radio, Christian radio station, and outreach ministry. If I just said outreach ministry, just did concerts, they'd be like, whatever. And most people wouldn't be interested. Well, radio station, perks the ears up. It's worth the $50 a month to do that. and that allows people to connect in to understand this is what we do, and then the outreach side of it is the concerts. So on our concerts, we have had a little bit of an uptick the last couple of years. The actual radio station, and well, I mean, we've added Jared on the team.
Yeah.
So that's an uptick.
Yeah.
That's positive. Sure. We've added you into the podcast.
Yeah.
And we got John helping promote.
So that aspect, yes. The radio station, no, but different ways of doing it, yes.
Though after I joined, it was kind of a down kick, just down the spiral.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's awesome. I like I said, we've never really had an opportunity to discuss stuff. Like we always have such good topics, and we stay on topic pretty well every show, or at least ones I pop onto, and I've always wanted to ask you these questions, and
go ahead. Yeah.
So I appreciate the conversation about it, and so let me ask you this also. So sure. Do you have to? So I've checked the station out online.
Thank you.
But can you only access it by online, or can you get it on like a Apple, iTunes, or Spotify? Or do you have to only listen to it through online?
Well, there is an app. You have it listed up?
Because I would like to listen to more of it, but it's hard for me to be at work, because I work out in the field all the time. So I put in earbuds and I listen to music all day, right? Or podcasts or whatever.
Yeah.
But
the short answer is yes. I mean, it's not online, so you have to have internet access in that way. But there's a Live 65 app, which you could go to. And then if you search Quake on there, and then it'll pull up the app it'll pull it up on there. So it's not our app.
After this, if you don't mind, send me the know-how of the links or
so
because I would love to put you guys in my head, while I'm out working, because I just thought that I had to be at a laptop or have my phone open in order to
So what, like for people that don't know, Live 365 is a website and company that hosts radio stations. So you can search any kind of radio station you want to listen to. Say it's country, you can search country. Rap, you can search rap. Christian. So like when you go to the app, the Live 365 app, you just type Quake Radio and our station will pull up, and 24/7 free to listen to.
There's our marketing guy. Thank you, sir.
Because I don't know a lot of the music you guys talk about and discuss and stuff. I mean, I know some because Jared's educated me in terms of a lot of it. I honestly, and I've been honest with Jared, and I've said, I'm not really feeling it. He'll be, and he's totally stoked about it. He's like, oh, this is great. I'm like, and that's what's cool about it. And I love all music, number one. And
he's a classic guy.
I would like to, like he turned me on to Rhett Walker, and like that dude is awesome. Like,
and Walker's coming to his area.
Rhett Walker will be here tomorrow at our rodeo.
Oh, you need to go.
I'm unable to go. I wish I could.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I could. So tonight at the rodeo. So it's called the Sykeston Boot Hill Rodeo. It's a PBR qualifier. It's been, I don't know what, it's 100-something annual. It's a major rodeo in Southeast Missouri. And tonight is Warren Zeters.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, Zeters. Warren Zeters. I think that's how you say it.
So Warren Zeters, and then tomorrow's Rhett Walker, and then about 7-8 years ago they did Friday is hip hop night, and so Ludacris is Friday night. Yeah.
That's just ludicrous.
So Ludacris. They're Friday. Then,
Don't get
something
started.
in the Saints is Saturday night. They close the show out. Something in the Saints. They do the theme song for Yellowstone. Apparently, I don't know who they are. That's all I was told. But like last year on Friday Night Hip Hop was like Timbaland's been there, Nelly's been there.
Wow.
A buddy of mine
Little
worked for Netflix.
John and the twins were there one year on Friday night. It's
Lil John, 8 Ball, MJG.
so.
I'm
But
just
yeah,
a
Red
little
Walkers
Brian
tomorrow. I
Wilder.
thought it was totally cool that guy, like, he's getting, like I said, he is really like on a lot of different platforms and getting a lot of exposure.
And a Christian artist at that, amongst all these people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because this is a
Yeah.
big deal. Like, they book artists out like years and years in advance.
Mhm.
Wow, that is awesome. If I'm ever up that way, I'd
What
love
was
to
that
go with
again?
you.
I'm on the app. So what was 365?
Live 365. That's the main. That's the app I sent you in the messenger.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
It's supposed to connect you directly to it, but sometimes it cuts off letters and stuff and doesn't do it.
Okay. Let's see here.
But minimally, Live 365 is if you go through your app store. Why did it send it
What's
like
that?
That's weird.
What's up, JW Fox?
Yeah, just go to your app thing and through iPhone, just type in Live 365 and type Quake.
Yeah,
You know
Live
what?
365 radio dash music and talk.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm downloading it now.
And it's a really good because you can search any kind of radio station.
Yeah,
It's cool that we have one on there.
Well, like I said, I always thought it was like I had to get on and type in Quake Radio, and I'm like, well, how can I can't do that and have like I can't just have my phone open on the browser, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you go through that, well, we're also on TuneIn. There's a TuneIn app as well. I forgot I added it. I put myself on there.
Oh, yeah, you know what? TuneIn's pretty big because a lot of the country stations I listen to talk about TuneIn.
We're on,
I've never used it, but
I mean that's separate from Live 365. This is directly through their app. So
let's see.
then just type in Quake. And
Got you. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. So right now you got Echoes playing Young Nation live.
could be.
That's
I
who's
say that
playing
because I don't have it up on front of me. Yep, you're right. Yeah.
Hey, that's cool.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I don't know what we're playing right now. And right now it's on CHH playing. So it's on not random, but they call it a clock wheel. So you say what stuff, type of genre you want to play, and it'll go and play it, and it'll play it in a loop. Variety of different things play through.
And one of the things I want to do.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, one of the things I want to do, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just got to find time because I do so many different things during the week. I don't know, but I've always wanted to do and I've told this to Jason, do a live radio show on the air for about 2 hours and play Christian rock music because nobody hears Christian rock music during the day because a lot of times we do it at night. And I'd love to do a live show and then interview artists and then play the music live. But just my biggest thing is I got too much stuff going on and I don't know if I could do it.
I am working with somebody trying to figure out how to do that. He has his own show that he's done for a while with the hard heavy metal and stuff, and he's thinking of trying to reboot itself, do it again. Might tag him in here. I'm not gonna say who it is.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Private chat. You might. I don't know if you know the name or not, but I don't want to say.
And we used to listen to oh shoot, what is the Aaron Michael Graham? What is that show he does?
Oh, that's not the one. I just sent you in the private chat. I don't know if you see it.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't heard of this guy, but yeah. So Aaron Michael Graham, he's the one that a legend. He's in England, and he does that show. We used to play it all the time at lunch because I used to listen every day at work. What was his show's name?
Hold on.
I follow it on Facebook. Golly, Aaron Michael Graham, that's gonna drive me crazy.
No, I'm trying to find it.
The only thing I didn't like about his show was it was a lot of replays. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Anyways, I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it.
But like I said, with See, the Seventh Day Slumber there is just one of those God's hands and things making this happen. So, but tickets are $10 and VIP is $25.
That's not bad.
No, and
Jared, you gotta go.
Hey, I'd love to.
It's not that far.
It's only 12 hours.
Look, as a crow flies, it's not that far.
But we are
A big crow.
We are working on getting a local band, local supporters they put on there to join it. I have to get approval. He has to get approval from the rest of the band if they can do it because it's really short notice. It's like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks out. If they can make it, then it'll definitely help. Otherwise, we'll see if we can get somebody else. But we are bringing a group like Seventh Day Slumber. I want to bring somebody that's local in to be able to play it as well if we can. Get people to come in, then they also get some connections. They can connect with Seventh Day Slumber for future events as they go. That's how these all connections work. So, oh yeah, I played with such and such back in Iowa, and then they reach out to that band and like, oh, we're gonna do. Do you know anyone that we could do this with, or blah blah? And that's how these things all work.
Well, I think their band name's cool too. I think that's pretty cool. Like I said, I've only heard probably 3 or 4 of their songs. I don't know much about them.
Yeah,
I tell you,
my favorite is "We Are the Broken."
That's a good one.
I love that song.
Their new album. The new album is out, and it's called.
Is this a band that's been around for many years?
25 years.
They started technically in 1996.
Wow.
I read that up. They officially started in 1996.
Wow.
So this is their new album. It's called Fractured Paradise.
Fractured Paradise, okay.
And it's really cool.
So so are they a rock? So they considered a rock group, I guess.
That's horrible.
Are they considered a Christian rock group?
Christian rock.
Yes.
Are they one of your bigger Christian rock groups?
Yes.
Yes and no. If you use Skillet as a reference, no, because Skillet's more mainstream in that realm. But I mean, they've been around almost 30 years touring, and I met them in Monmouth, a little tiny town about how far is that? 40 minutes from here.
I've been there.
You've been to Monmouth? Yeah.
I lived in Alexis, Illinois.
So we've been So in Monmouth, they came to a little show out there 9 years ago on a small town tour. That's what they were doing, small towns, and so I mean that's what they're doing. They're not going to like everyone's like, I'm going to go to the big cities, the bigger places, the bigger. Yeah. They're going to the small towns. They're going to the small places and reaching. So are they bigger? Not known wise that way, but they're going where they need to be going in the smaller towns.
And I tell you what, they was on Winter Jam last year. They put on a phenomenal show. So here's a quick short testimony from Joseph, the lead singer. Mm-hmm. So, and he's got several videos on YouTube you can watch of his testimony. And I've met him all 3 times. I've seen him live, and
met him more than
and I tell you what, his testimony, when you hear it, you're not a man if you don't cry when you hear his testimony. Yeah. So he had a $800 a day cocaine addiction, and he was from Houston, Texas, and he had left his parents, left his family. He was out on the streets in Houston with an $800 a day cocaine addiction, and he had an alcohol addiction, the whole 9 yards. Well, he overdosed and was in the back of an ambulance going to the hospital. Mm-hmm. And his mom started praying for him because she didn't know where he was. She was worried about him. She started praying for him. He said he witnessed, like he was pretty much dead in the ambulance almost. He witnessed God bring him to life in the back of that ambulance. And he come to and see the paramedics there giving him CPR the whole 9 yards. Mm-hmm. And he said that he felt the hand of God grab him and pull him back and say, hey, you're not done yet. And it took him a long time to get rid of his addiction, but he got saved. And even when he was the lead singer of the Christian band, he had an alcohol problem and had a bunch of other problems, and almost lost his wife. Went through the whole 9 yards, and then got back to Christ again. And now he's telling everybody he can about Jesus. And he's one of those people. He's unfiltered. He don't care what people think, and he says it. And it's well worth the watch to see him live.
Let me ask you a question since you said something there. Your guys, I want to ask all three of y'all. How does that set with if you're a Christian rock band or a Christian artist, but you're partaking in drinking alcohol heavily, like how does that work?
You're human. I'm
still broken.
Yeah.
I mean, is it great? No, but
let me use an example. A person me and Jason both know decided that he was going to overindulge and decided to drink and drive. He was a Christian, preached about it, even talked to a couple times about moderation. He's still a child of God. He may beat himself up, but he is. But he's not perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly. And habits happen, and
well, no, I guess it's more of how do you classify it as a Christian group if you're not walking the
because how can I classify as a teacher of the word if I'm still flawed? You know, how can Jason do what he does if he's still flawed? If Jared is flawed, how can he do the things he does? I mean,
well, I guess it's more. I understand. I'm saying. I guess it's more of how does the music industry, put people in these categories if they're like, what makes them a Christian band, versus a non-Christian band if both bands are partaking in the same activity? I guess is more what I'm asking.
For me, it would be what their end result is. What their end result is, what their goal is. As in, you can't say Guns N' Roses. Most people know Guns N' Roses.
Right.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
But they were drinking, drugs and all that. Their end goal was drink and do drugs. Okay. And that was their goal, was party, 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 party. Okay. Jump off the stage, punch somebody in the face, run to another city. But that was their goal. But if they're Christian, his downfall at the time was alcohol, say. Somebody might have lust of the eyes. Somebody might have smoking or indulging in food or whatever. Everyone has different things, sins differently. But if your end result is just to preach the gospel to people, and while you're working on your hurdles that you have, because we all have them, and you're trying to improve continuously, and by improving, not doing less and less of the bad thing. Yeah, trying to get better and better at partying.
Yeah, I guess it's more like as the industry itself. How does that they differentiate the difference in the two, like say at the Grammys or whatever, and they put everybody in those categories. Well, this is a hip hop artist. This is a rock artist. This is a Christian rock artist.
Well, I think he's asking how do they differentiate the genre of what they do if they're still doing the things that other groups are doing. Well, and I don't. Can I?
Is it the lyric of the songs as why, or is it the lyric of the songs and the music? I guess.
So these groups state. I think some of these groups. I know some of these groups. I don't know all of them, but I know some of them classify themselves like this is the music we're going to play. The music industry. I don't mean to sound cold. They don't care if these people are drug addicted maniacs.
Oh, right.
Money. They don't care. So if your question is how can these music industries say that this is a Christian group when they're still out doing the same thing that non-Christian groups are? They couldn't care as long as they're making money.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of what I was. Yeah, I was just curious about that.
It comes down to them money. Money. I don't know about Christian. What do you call people that make music? What do you call
artists?
Producers. I don't know about producers. like Christian producers, but I can't imagine that there aren't any in there that's kind of like greed based. Like as long as they're making money, these guys can go ahead and drink all they want and drink themselves silly.
Yeah,
it's not going to affect us. If it comes to light, we'll just say we had no idea that this was going on, that this group was partaking in. They do that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they care.
Yeah.
But here's the little loophole in there. Not all songs that make it to say number one on the Christian charts is necessarily from a Christian artist. Because you've heard Dax. Have you heard of Dax?
Oh yeah.
Yes. In God's Eyes.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, you listen to God's Eyes from Dax. That was number one on the Christian hip hop charts. He's not a Christian artist in that way. He's not categorized as a Christian artist. But his song made number one in the Christian hip hop charts.
Huh.
Wow.
Based on based on the lyrics, and then what their goal, what the artists are doing, and they can self-proclaim. There's artists that you can tell are in the Christian faith, but they tiptoe around it. They don't put it in their category. We don't want to be Christian. We don't want to say we're Christian. We don't. Corn really isn't.
Because they feel like that might like hinder their to be able to go upward.
Yeah, and oddly enough, Christian folk will also belittle them for say, "Oh, look what you're doing! You're out there smoking cigarettes all the time." And I've heard people say, they're not shooting up, doing meth or coke or anything. They're smoking cigarettes. I know plenty of artists that have had indulgences like that with heavy, hard drugs, and they're out there smoking cigarettes. I'm like, well, yeah, smoking cigarettes. You know what else they were doing 10 years ago? Coke. Right. I'd rather have them smoke a cigarette.
For sure. Yeah.
Choose your
and another sad thing is you have Christian bands like, for instance, Switchfoot. Switchfoot's always been a Christian band, but then they left being a Christian to go to the secular music. And I can't remember they went to secular music, and
secular is not Christian. That's worldly. That's what most music is secular.
Oh,
like the mainstream. So, and as far as I know, Switchfoot still, as far as I know, they're still Christian, but they're just touring. Like they're touring with Metallica, any bands like that. They're touring with whoever, and I've never seen them live. They got great Christian messages, and I hope they're still telling people about Jesus. But that was sad to hear them leave. And then, like for instance, then you got other bands where they lose the faith. For instance, like Aaron Sprinkle. He announced he's been a Christian artist for years. Great music. Then he announced last year, the year before, they said, well, I don't believe in God anymore. And then like Jars of Clay, they were from the early 90s, my childhood. They were huge. And then they messed up. And then another band is Hawk Nelson. I've been listening to them for years and years. Then all of a sudden the lead singer comes out one day 2 years ago and says, yeah, I'm not a Christian. I never believed in God anymore. That was shocking when he said that. And then the other band is like, well, that doesn't reflect our views. We still believe in, God, but
that was a Christian band. The lead singer came out and said that I'm not Christian.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what was the point of doing all them years why don't you just do mainstream music then? Like that's where my mind would go. Like, well,
yeah, because I've got some Hawk Nelson CDs over here somewhere, and they always had
like the categories is why they like I think like I guess for me, I guess if it's a good message and a good song, I don't really need it to be labeled Christian or not Christian or like world or mainstream or what he secular or whatever he said. Because I listen to a lot of music that isn't, I guess, has the Christian label to it, but they have great songs and great messages. Like I don't know, I don't.
Well, that's like Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's got that new song that I play all the time when I can. The anti-suicide song called "I'm Not Okay."
Right. Like
I love music. I love music that has songs about anti-suicide. Like as a country rap artist, I listen to. He's a part of a group called. I can't think of the name of the group. Low Class Lingos is the name of the group, and his name is Daniel Boone, and he goes by the artist named D Boone. Well, he did a song.
His real
A
name is Daniel Boone.
Yes. I think it's Daniel Boone. That may be wrong. I'm sorry. I think I
That would
may
be
have that wrong.
crazy if his real name was Daniel Boone, though.
But anyways, he's got a song, and I've sent it to Adam. He's got a song about alcohol addiction, and he doesn't have a single cuss word in the song, which is great. He's got his wife in the music video, but he sings about bottle of shine. He starts singing about sober mind is the name of the song, and he sings about how getting sober and how alcohol ruined his life. And I love music like that. As long as it's clean, it got to be, you know.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the industry, it's all about what they want, how they want to label things. And
Yeah.
I always call it secondary because, as a Dax, if you listen to anything from Dax, his stuff is like To Be a Man. That's not a Christian song, but it's a positive, good song. He's got faith in there, but it's not a Christian artist.
Yeah. Dax is very talented.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's good.
There's a lot of backlash from Christians that will judge somebody based on it's. I mean, I've had that with people like you play Christian.
It's kind of weird that we judge more than a lot of people. I mean, I understand why the world, those, I don't like to do that, but why those of the world judge, they're living in the world. But we Christians who are supposed to not be like the world, we judge a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I'm not saying we shouldn't. I mean, at all. I mean, obviously, if a group of people's doing something that you're with that you don't agree with, by all means, get away. That's the type of judgment you should be doing, judging like a group's actions. But as for judging, I don't know. We do a lot of judging in a lot of ways. And
that's like a good example is Joseph from 7-Day Slumber. So this is Joseph in the picture of this CD with the mohawk right there. Mm-hmm. He's even said it many a times. So get this. This happened last year because I'm in a private group chat with him and some other of the members of the street team, and they went to play a show last year at a bowling alley, a Christian rock group going to play at a bowling alley. And these guys they go hard. They're not no alternative group. They go hard. They got pyrotechnics. Well, apparently this was a big enough bowling alley where they could play a full band. Well, it was them. It was Magdalene Rose, her name is Maggie. She married the drummer, which is his son. Blaze. She married his son, Blaze. And so she was on tour with them. It was them and maybe one other group. Well, they get to the venue of the bowling alley, and the owner of the bowling alley is such a butt, is a nice way of putting it. He was such a butt. He told them that they can't park the tour bus here. He's like, oh, no, you can't park your tour bus here. And you know what? He would not let them play that show because of the way they dressed and the way they looked. Because Joseph had a mohawk. It was like spray painted a neon color. And he had on like leather biker gear or whatever and the chains. And they judged them on the way they looked and told them, oh, you can't play here. And then they had to apologize at the last minute and go live and explain to people, sorry if you bought tickets, it's out of our control. And that's sad that we as people do that, Christians, whoever.
What's sad is that we as Christians, and I can only talk about my fellows, I hope I'm amongst them, is that Jesus even says, like, we focus on such important things, outside things. And meanwhile, we completely miss the things that are on the inside. I don't remember exactly where. I'll look it up later on. But there is a part of the Bible where Jesus is basically pointing out, it's like, why are you focusing on what people wear or what they dress or what they own or things like that? When meanwhile the things that actually matter, like, I mean, all the time he was here on earth, he preached about things that come from the heart. I mean, obviously everything that's important comes from within us, not outside us. All of our good actions come from within. All of our bad actions come from within. If what's inside is rotten and bad, what we do will be rotten and bad. If what's inside is good, and I judge good by what God says is good, and that varies from person to person. I can't judge another person by that same standard, but if what God says is inside is good, then what I do will be, and I guess I can break it down further. It's just we focus on the wrong things. We
Exactly.
really do, and there's nothing wrong. Like I know I got in a conversation today about how sometimes guys get more attracted to outside beauty. It's like, well, God made beautiful women. I mean, God made handsome men. It's just the truth. Who made these people? God, it wasn't the devil. These things aren't bad, but if that's all you're focusing on in a mate,
You're gonna miss.
You're gonna miss. You're gonna be in trouble, because you're missing what actually is beautiful of that person. And it's the same way with about anything. You always judge on appearance.
Well, one of the things, speaking of judging on appearance and stuff, one of the things I run into, because I'm the marketing director, I play all kind of Christian music, Christian rap, Christian rock, Christian metal. I don't listen to a lot of Christian worship, but I do listen to some. And like a lot of churches, that if it ain't Christian worship where they say Jesus every 5 words, they're like, no, we don't want it. Especially Christian rap artists, they look at them, they look at their appearance, no, or they listen to their sound and they, oh, that's too heavy. I said, just because it's too heavy or not something you don't normally listen to, don't mean they ain't Christian. You have to pay attention to the words instead of focusing on the sound of it. The words are what's more important, because sound's secondary to me.
I guess it comes down to, especially when it comes to taste. If you don't like a certain person, like, hey, this person's a Christian rapper, or this one's a Christian rocker, or hey, we even have Christian heavy metal and Christian liquid metal and Christian baby metal. I mean, we have those, and that's basically where they're just screeching. It sounds like to me. I don't like them, but it doesn't mean they're not Christian.
What's baby metal?
It's adorable, like high pitched, but I'll play it for you. I'll find it for you. But it's
new genre.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's coming from Japan.
Anyway,
but it doesn't make it any less Christian. I don't know what they're saying, but it doesn't make.
They did have a band from Japan that went on tour last year, the year before, with the Extreme Tour.
Yeah.
Ingarai or something. I don't know.
It's actually the church is actually taking like rock, getting bigger in Japan. It's, great. It's just like I was saying. So if you don't like a certain band, don't say they're not Christian, because just because you don't like that music doesn't mean they aren't Christian. And maybe that band can reach people that.
Well, that's like. That's like, for instance, like I'm not crazy on Christian screaming metal where they just scream the whole entire time and I can't understand what they say. But I'll say this:
metal styles. I didn't know that.
Well, that's like.
Thank you, Dad.
Well, that's like I listen to a lot of Demon Hunter. I love their music. Well, then half their music is super, super awesome. I can understand it. Then the other half is just rah, 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 and I can't understand it. But that doesn't mean they're not Christian. They're a good group. It's great Christian lyrics. So I'm not going to knock it. It's just not my... And then another thing, I hear this all the time. Like I play Christian rap all the time. And I have people tell me, man, turn that rap mess off. Turn that rap mess off. I said, it's Christian music. Huh? I can't understand what they're saying. Well, just because you can't understand, look at the lyrics. They're still rapping about Jesus.
Yeah.
They just reach a different genre. They just reach a different group of people than your standard people that all they listen to is K-Love. If all you listen to is K-Love, you need to jump out your box and listen to something different.
I'll have you know my radio and my truck only plays K-Love because it's broke.
Did you hear about the Demon Hunter story when they played at I don't know. This is not the actual event. I call it Satan Fest. It was an event that was all for satanic type bands and stuff. And the promoter thought that their name was Demon Hunter, that they were actually satanic. Clearly, they're not. So they went onto the stage with 666 everywhere, Satan things everywhere, and they're like, "Do we go out on the stage?" And the guy's like, "Well, we got to say it from wherever we can." So they went out and they, did their Jesus music from a stage of Toronto with satanic stuff with an audience of satanic folk.
Or just people.
Wow.
Tell me that's not insane. You know,
Oh, look.
that's hard to do. I don't know if I could do that.
It had to be like a joke from God. Like, yeah, guys.
Well, that's like
What Satan
well,
folks here?
well, that's like my buddy Austin Bedwell used to be my church youth leader. He's the biggest Demon Hunter fan I've ever met. He's seen them in concert. He drove over 6 hours to go to a VIP meet and greet of theirs last year. And Ryan Clark is a lead singer. And when you listen to them, you think they do it full time for a living, but actually what they do for a living is a graphic design business, and the music's just part time, which is unheard of because they've been doing this 15, 20 years or more. But like that is so cool that you told that story. I did not know that, because their music, if you'd listen to it and don't pay attention to the lyrics, you would think it was that part of music, that kind of. But it's actually all Christian. It's all Christian music. Even their logo, they even tell you. I don't know what their logo means, but I know they. Well, that's cool to hear that, though.
Yeah, it's just like cause the promoters like, oh, it's Demon Hunter, it's demon, it's got to be satanic stuff, and you know,
Demon Slayer. It's in the name.
That is just that's the coolest story I've heard in music in a while. Like imagine them going on stage after they talked about it. I was like, okay, well here we go, let's rock out for Jesus. I wonder how many people got saved that night.
I think that some people did.
I just feel that this is something that God. The way it happened, it just feels like something that God would do. Now, again,
someone said a prayer. God, if you're real, somebody speak about Jesus here.
It would.
Here they come.
I bet.
Oh Lord! Can you imagine saying that prayer and they show up?
And he had probably had this in the works long before, right before the band was born, and right before the people in the band were born. You know, like someday they're going to be in front of all these Satanists. But it's like, and we want to make it clear, we're not bashing other religions. If that's not what this channel is about, and I don't want to act like I'm some kind of coward. That's not what we want to do here. We're not here to do that. But sometimes we find stories like this, and we got to think like, our God is a big God. Our God can do these things, can move mountains, can meet people where they are, even if it's crowd of Satan worshippers. Yeah, pretty much. It's like that's the type of God. And if our God is willing to go to those places, why aren't his people?
And look, and I can tell you this. So me and Adams had a conversation before about, getting saved, how you know when you're ready, that kind of thing. So I witnessed something. So I was at the Rare Breed concert, and Rare Breed, for those who's listening that don't know who he is, his name is Rob, is his real name. And Rob, I forgot his last name, but anyways, he's a Christian rapper, and he does country rap style beats, but it's Christian music. He calls it God twang. And he's like, well, one of them's, he talks about how rap music's watered down, and one of them sounds like it's got too much of this. So he said, I'm going to call it God twang. So that's what he calls it. He's got his own clothing line that says God twang on it. Well, anyways, he was down doing his God twang summer tour at the Brakeman Park in Meridian, Mississippi, which is a big city. And it was the train tracks below the bridge there. Well, the guy that put it on was a guy that had a ministry down there, and it was a free event. They didn't charge for it. And me and Cliff went there. My buddy Zach Sanders went with us. And we met Cliff and his girlfriend Chastity there. Well, towards the end of the night, it was Cade Thompson, Adam Thompson, and it was 2 or 3 other artists that were local, and then it was Rare Breed. And I filmed his whole thing, put him on YouTube. And so he was super nice. Well, when he got done, they did the altar call. And the guy that had the ministry, he had a biker vest and having his patches for his ministry. And he had been talking about earlier how they had been filming a movie over there in Meridian. Well, they come over there, and I see this young girl bring her friend up front of the stage. And when they was doing the altar call, she brought her to the front. And this young girl was screaming. I'm talking about screaming bloody murder, like just screaming, just let it all go. And this is one of those moments where I really do believe in demon possession, because I witnessed this firsthand. and she was just sitting there screaming and screaming and screaming for like at least 5-10 minutes. And I watched the guy that had the ministry lay his hand on her and start praying. Then I seen Rob get off the stage and walk around in the front where we were, and he was praying with her. And it was 2 or 3 people there praying for her. And like 5-10 minutes later, she just got calm. And like a peace was like she gave everything to Jesus at the altar there. That was the most wildest experience that I've ever seen at a concert was that. And I really do believe in that demon possession stuff, and that I truly witnessed. And she was fine. She quit crying. She was saved. She was with the Lord. Just dropped everything.
And and while we're speaking about over judgmental Christians, the reason I bring that up and I have such a problem with it is I've been in that boat. And I mean, I'm sure we all have. But I mean, I was so dead certain that I was right and my way of thinking was right, that I was so narrow-minded that I didn't see just what God could do. I literally was limiting God. I was limiting what he could use me for. I mean, I did a lot of damage to myself. And God, and you know, God shows me that, but that's why I kind of pointed out. It's like, I know where this is coming from. They mean well. Yep. They do. Or they don't care and they only think about themselves, which I've also done.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's why I'm also cautious. It's like, I don't like to point this out to other Christians who are doing it because I don't want to get I ain't Jesus. I can't talk to the Pharisees, you know, and say, hey, don't do this, don't do that. But I just want to give people a warning. It's like you limit God to judgmental. And then you chase people off who could do so much good in this world, who deserve God, who deserve to be saved. And, you know, maybe we as believers, whoever listens to this, need to check ourselves out first. You know, now, if you don't want them to be involved with the group because something about them gives you the willies, I say listen to it. But don't judge somebody just because of how they look or where they come from or what they wear or if they're tattooed or if they have biker leathers on, you know.
Yeah, because there's so many times, turn that rat mess off. You hear that? Turn that rat mess off. I said, if you only knew their testimony in Jesus, you wouldn't be saying that. You wouldn't, if you actually knew what the lyrics in that song said. And that goes for.
Yeah, some of those people I judge are more of a believer than I ever will. And I say that not to be humble or something like, because they understand the message of God. Yeah. They understood it in a deeper meaning than I ever did. And I just don't want people to be like I was, you know, over judgmental. What opportunities to save people did I miss because I was over judgmental? Yeah.
And he will use any type of music to get to any person he needs to.
Exactly.
You know, we have a friend that she listens to the Jesus rap, if she calls it. You know, and she's got that playing on her speaker when she's walking and stuff. She goes, that's her thing. I mean, but that works. You know, helps her get clean. You know, some people will not listen to that. They'll listen to the metal. Unfortunately fortunately for my coworkers, when I leave work or come into work and go to the parking ramp, they hear me blasting that Jesus rap.
Mm-hmm. And then
it's thumping through my minivan.
And then we see people bursting.
I got a Chrysler minivan. It's boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah.
The thing is, just Starship in the like a minivan, but it runs like a tank.
Yeah. So I mean, they'll hear it and they'll know it, but I'm not afraid to know.
But look. This is what Jason needs. He needs a Maniki Gracious hat, one of these flat bell hats that say Jesus saves. Cock it sideways and just bump in your music. Yeah.
I like
right down your music.
On that. That's pretty cool.
He would wear the collar. I wouldn't do the sideways thing. I'm too old for that. Once you creep up on 50, it's bad. Turn that sucker around.
I'll wear it backwards. How's that sound?
Did you ever hear George Carlin talk about that? Your hat backwards. No. Once you hit 40, turn that sucker around.
Here's the thing: when I walk into
a
church, that hat's coming off. Doesn't matter if it's backwards, sideways. It doesn't matter. It's always going to come off.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I understand.
No, that's what I was saying.
I'm just saying. I mean, I understand.
No.
You know, you got a glare on your head. It's fine.
Well, yeah. God can find me real easy.
There he is.
You know, one of these days, all four of us need to meet up and go to a concert.
We'll meet halfway in Missouri.
There we go. Oh, great.
Yeah.
It's Missouri, Southeast Missouri.
Really quickly back to that music thing. I just want to say something about like Jared said about the rap. You know, people saying turn that rap. I think a lot of times though, like, because I know several people that are very Christian based. They live their life, you know, like they walk the word, right? They just don't like rap. I think a lot of times it just comes down to they just don't like what Mitch was saying a while ago. Like sometimes people just don't like certain music, and I don't think it's the fact that you know when they say turn that rap mess off or whatever they think it's that the mainstream rap or the other styles of rap. I just think it's just how it's being delivered and how they're receiving it. I think that's a lot of times, in my opinion, what it boils down to. Like a lot of people don't like country music. They don't care if it's Waylon Jennings country or if it's Christian country. Like they just don't like country music. Like,
and I'm sure you agree, Adam, that that's fine. Everyone can have their own taste. I mean, everyone.
Oh yeah, I tell Jared a lot on
they have my taste. It's all RYC Praise News.
If I like something, I like it. I don't care what genre it is, but that's just me. I don't expect everyone to be me.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I sent Jared stuff, and Jared's like, "Yeah, you know, it's whatever." He sent me stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, it's whatever." You know, like so. You know, but I'm never gonna not send Jared something that I think that he might give it a chance or he might not. Or it's a different something that he's not used to listening to, you know what I'm saying? And he does the same back to me. So it's, so I can appreciate that, but there's also stuff that I listen to that I would never send to Jared because I know it's not stuff that he can go, why would I, like he,
now I know not to send Liquid Metal Jared's way because I know he doesn't like screaming and.
Oh yeah, that stuff's for the birds. I can't do that.
And you know what? I listen like
it's an acquired taste.
You like it?
See, music with me though. The reason I don't like it,
That's weird.
the reason I don't like the screamo music or whatever it's called, is because I like to connect with a song, no matter what style it is. Whether and I can't connect the song, or like I like songs that tell a story. I can't understand what you're saying, so how can I can't connect with the song.
Well, that's why
it's not that it's bad music. I
don't know what it is that I like about it, but it does energize me when I hear it. It's like, I want to go do something.
So you like that? So you like that Magdalene Rose?
Yeah.
Well, Magdalene Rose is also on this. Was also a Seventh Day Slumber on this one as well. But she does that. Have you ever seen Magdalene Rose? Jared's seen her.
yes.
That voice come out of her. She sings like an angel. And then
She's got a heavenly voice, beautiful voice.
Then the scream part comes out. Like, how did that come out of that body?
Well, there was an angel.
It doesn't sound right. I mean, first time I saw her do that in audio feed, in our band in Illinois there, and I was like, what is that? But you don't expect this little girl to be screaming louder than.
Well, that's like I listen to Bread for War sometimes.
Yeah, I like
Bread for War is one of those. They scream a lot, and some of it's hard to. But then you got groups like Amongst the Giants. Now get this, Amongst the Giants. I've never seen them live, but they're signed to Joseph Rojas's record label, which is Rockfest Records, and they scream a lot. But when they don't scream, it's the most amazing music ever. Their lead singer has a phenomenal voice. They got a new song. I can't think of the name of it. He doesn't scream at all. He uses his phenomenal voice and it just echoes. I'm like, wow, that's amazing that a band can do both,
Yeah. You know who was in Amongst the Giants, right? You know who that's a spinoff of, right? You know who's
Wait, what now?
You know who's in Amongst the Giants, right?
So
Blaze Rojas is in that band. That's his band.
That's right. Yeah, he's a drummer, and
that's his band.
Isn't Marco Pera in it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because Marco, I've seen Marco. I didn't get to meet him, but he toured with Disciple when Disciple toured on the Winter Jam tour 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He played lead guitars with Disciple, and Marco is a phenomenal guitarist. But yeah, I think he does play with him too.
Yeah. So Amongst the Giants is one of their 7 Day Slumber. We got Magdalene Rose connected. We got Amongst the Giants connected.
Here's what I can do to tie this all together with judging
In a bow.
and a nice bow, because I gotta get going eventually.
Yeah. So we got.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
yeah.
Get out of here soon.
We're coming up to the 2-hour mark.
Yes.
But and as much as I love the conversations, like
Yes.
King David once won a great victory, and he won many victories if you read through the Old Testament. But one of them, he started to dance, and it doesn't explain how the dance was perceived wrong, but some snobs at the party who were there didn't like how he was dancing in front of like some kind of shrine to God. I don't remember what it was, and they didn't like that at all. And one of the prophets says, "Leave him alone. This is how he chooses to praise God." In the same sense, if somebody chooses to listen to screaming music to praise God, that's their business.
That's right.
Worshiping God. You might find worship in Christian country music, which is fantastic to me. You might find it. You might find it in Christian contemporary music, which I think is a broad genre, not just a simple.
Brandon Lake.
Yeah, Brandon Lake and all that. It's like there are so many Christian singers that I have found that I love that I don't remember everything about, but they span through all of these things, and that's how I choose to worship God. You choose to worship God in one way. It's like that's fine. And that's pretty much why that was put in there. It's like, don't be these people who think you can only worship them one way. Heck, and don't do this, and I'm not trying to be provocative, if your idea of worshiping God is throwing honey on yourself and dancing in front of a place because he did something fantastic for you, do it, as long as you do it for the glory of God. It's weird.
Yes,
It's weird. I'm trying to put out in the most extreme point that I can. It's like, that's how they choose to praise God.
Hey, kitty. Hey, look, the kitty's worshiping God with us.
Hey, kitty.
So look, I can tell you this right here. I listen to a lot of different music. I can't stand music with cuss words in it. I usually skip it a lot of times. But you can name any mainstream artist that's played on every radio station, and I bet you I can find a Christian artist that sounds just like them, just better lyrics, better Jesus music. And I can always find a Christian version of, that's like, for instance, Disturbed. I like Disturbed, good music. But if you want to find the Christian version of Disturbed, Demon Hunter, Red, groups like that,
You know what I'm embarrassed about? I never knew Skillet was a Christian band. I never pieced that together.
Skillet.
Yeah, I Need a Hero.
Yeah, I didn't. I literally thought when they sang "I Need a Hero," they were talking about like just somebody coming to help me. I didn't realize they were talking about God.
And look, sandwich.
And look, and while we're on here, so Skillet, I've seen them like 5-6 times. Well, they announced today that they are no longer signed with Atlantic Records. They're going independent.
Yeah.
Good.
Which is a huge deal for a Christian band to go independent.
Yeah. So on that,
That means no record
Get
label.
out of here, y'all.
I'll go ahead and end the session with a prayer if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Yes.
we can go our own way and convene next Monday.
Bon
before-
voyage.
Hey, really quickly.
Yes, sir.
So I got a phone call earlier, and I've got a niece, or not a niece. I've got a cousin. She very, very disabled. When she was born, has gone through a ton in 22 years, and she got put on hospice 2 days ago. So,
Ooh.
if you guys could keep her, y'all's thoughts and prayers. So,
What her name is, so I can put it in the prayer.
yeah, her name's Marley.
Marley. All right.
Yeah.
I'll start the prayer with that then.
So,
And then also,
you guys could, like I said, just I messaged Jared about it. They prayed for it at his church and stuff. So I just appreciate y'all.
Okay.
and then pray for John, because John posted in the group his health. And then also pray for me. I got more bad news on my transmission on my truck today. So I'm probably never going to get to drive it because the government motor is wanting to be whatever. It's just a nightmare. But yeah, pray for all of us.
Definitely. Father, we just thank you for this chance for three wise men, to come together and just celebrate the extravagant strides that you've led Jason on. And Father, we ask that you watch over Marley, and she's in hospice, Father. And we just pray that you be with her and her family, that you give them comfort, especially Marley. And I just pray that she comes out of this, Father. Life is a gift, and we're thankful for every moment you give us. Father, may you watch over John and the things that he's going through. We just pray that you walk with him and that you give him healing and that you give him strength. And we pray that you watch over Jared and that you help him with his vehicle, that if he can't get this vehicle, that he gets an even better vehicle, that, you know, the government's not going to throw a fit with how he repairs. And we just thank you just for all the blessings we have. And we thank you that you hear our prayers and that each one is heard and received by you. And we thank you for your overwhelming kindness and your love and your patience. We thank you for just listening to us little specks on this earth and this giant multitude of planets that you constantly create. And we just pray that you continue to shine your light through us, through our cracks, so that people may see you, that our lives glorify you, and that when you answer these prayers, that they too glorify you, so that others come to you, and that your story and your goodness grows through them as you've been good through us. And for those of us who are the judging problem, may you help us to close our mouths and see what you see, and to love as you love, to accept us all as you have accepted us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Great show. That was awesome.
Yep. Till next week.